This is a video for Electrical Calc, the app, and specifically the transformer module. So we'll go ahead and go into that. The first thing you'll notice about the transformer module is the header bar. To go back, you simply click the arrow and the eye on the right side, which will bring up the what we call the unified menu. It brings up your ability to reset, which will reset the entire module back to defaults as if you just installed it. Email, which will allow you to email the results that you come up with. This is also very handy if you're emailing us for support to email us the results, and then we can see exactly what you're talking about and what we're talking about. The help here is the main help, but is actually pretty vague because we also have helps for each module inside the module. And I'll show you that in a minute. And of course, video tutorial, that's how you got to this video. And cancel. So let's get out of here. Now what I was talking about is every one of these sections with the red header, you can click on the header and it will give you specific help and code rules to the section that you're in. So that'll be much handier than the main help in most cases. The three buttons below the header are for the 3 pages. The specs page is where you're going to set up your numbers off your transformer, or the numbers off spec sheets in order to find a transformer. And then your primary and your secondary are going to show the calculated results, which are also tweakable, which we'll go through in a minute. Let's go back to the specs. Your first section allows you to choose between dry or non-dry transformers. So this would be an epoxy-filled or an oil-filled transformer. So we'll go to dry for now. I think that's the majority of people will be using most of the time. This allows you to select your configuration. Single phase is at the far right, and then you also have all your delta to Y, Y to delta, delta to delta, and Y to Y. So I think for the most part, delta to Y, common transformer. Now we'll scroll down to transformer specs. This is where you will choose what to solve with. So you might want to solve for a specific size of transformer. You might want to solve for a specific full load amps on the primary, or you might want to solve for a specific full load amps on the secondary. So we'll go to kVA for now. Just click on primary voltage, put in your primary voltage. To dismiss the keyboard, click anywhere. We'll go to a 600 208 for now. The max the app supports right now is 750 volt. There are different code rules over 750 volts, so we might be adding that at a later date, but right now, if you put in anything over 750, the app will default back to 750. So let's go ahead and put in 208, common transformer. It also supports decimals, so if you wanted to go to a 112.5 kVA, you can. That's just a help that popped up. And then your last spec section is overcurrent protection. This is where you select if you're going to put overcurrent protection on your secondary or not. This will affect your results, obviously, in a large way. So we will leave it on for now. And your OC percent when choking. This is going to allow you to adjust overfusing. So if you put this at 80%, it will fuse 20% over your load. So on a heating load, you might want to put this at 100%. On normal loads, you might want to put it at 80%. So your fusing will be over your load by 20%. So once you get all that selected, you just hit primary. Everything's calculated automatically. So now you'll come in here. You'll notice we have gray boxes and we have white boxes. The gray boxes are calculated results that you cannot modify without going back and changing specs. But they're a calculated number. You can't change them. So here's your full load amps, your primary, your kVA rating, which is just the number you typed in over here. Nothing calculated there, just to show you in your results. Down in the overcurrent, the app has calculated a 300 amp fuse size. It's showing that the maximum percentage of the fuse is 300%, and it's showing that right now it is at 277%. And that's with secondary protection turned on, obviously. That's why the fusing is so high here. You can go in and change this to choke down your transformer, and as soon as you do, this will turn green, just to show that you've modified the results. And all the other results will be recalculated according to your choking that you're doing here. If you need to reset that back, if you go back to specs and you change any spec, the app will recalculate back to original values. Let's go down to wire. Go down to your wire section, and it's suggesting 250 MCM right now for your 300 amp fusing that we have. It's also giving you the maximum capacity of that wire, so you can kind of verify, double check that things are right. It gives you the wire type. We're on 110 right now for some reason. Let's go to a 90-degree wire, and you can select between aluminum or copper. We'll keep it on copper for now. You can see if you go to aluminum, the wire size goes up dramatically. Go back to copper, and now you can adjust the number of parallel runs here. So a lot of time, you might not want to run a 300 MCM, so you can go to a parallel run. Now it's showing parallel runs of 1 aught, which might be a little better. And now if we keep going, you'll notice an error comes up. Parallel runs smaller than 1 aught are not permitted with a rule number. Everything gives you a rule number. So you can't run, 3 runs of number 3 is all it's telling you. You can change the wire size. Sometimes you might want to do this if our wire sizing, the app calculates it exact, so you might want to go, if it's really close, you might want to bump that up a bit. But for the most part, you're going to want to leave it. If you have, put it to number 12 and went, oh, wait, what am I doing? You can just hit reset, and the app will recalculate the proper wiring. And then we move down to pipe sizing, conduit sizing, whatever you wish. Right now it's set at 2.5 inch, 63 millimeter for you metric guys. It'll show the required wire. So because we're on a delta system right now on the primary, it's giving 3 wires required in the pipe. And it's giving what 2.5 inch pipe can take. So it can take 4 wires. So it just gives you an idea of, you might want to bump up your pipe. Say this was 3 and 3. You might go, well, you know what, that's a little tight. You can click on your pipe and you can always bump it up. And these numbers will change accordingly. And again, the header will turn green just to show that it's user modified now and not calculated by the app. The wire type obviously makes a difference for the pipe fill. So you can select it here from a large list of wire. T90 nylon is common for me to use, so I'll leave it on that. And again, you also have the reset button, so you can reset it back to the calculated value. That avoids that just resets the pipe size, so that avoids you having to go back to specs and doing that and coming back over here and everything being reset, because a lot of time you won't want everything to be reset, obviously. And this is just your bonding size. So this is the ground wire you would pull with your feeders to bond your transformer. A lot of time you will just use your conduit as the bond. And a lot of people swear by pulling a separate wire in, so there it is if you need it. Secondary is almost identical to what I just showed you. It's wire sizing, pipe sizing. Now you have a ground size, which is always at number 6 as of the 2012 Canadian code. Allows us to use number 6 maximum. If you go anything smaller than number 6, you're going to run into the problem that it's got to be mechanically protected. So a lot of time, number 6 is the wire to use. The only other difference in secondary is we also have a load demand. So if you know your load, if you're hooking up a 60 amp machine, heater, whatever, you can type in 60. Now your load demand is set at 60. You're choking down your transformer. Your overcurrent is going to adjust accordingly. It'll still give you your percentage of your overcurrent now and the maximum percentage. What this will allow you to do is if you choke it down, it'll allow you to get away with smaller wire, obviously, and smaller conduit, of course. So you'll see right now we got to choke down to 60 amps. You can get away with a 90 amp fuse and number 2 wire and a 1.25 inch pipe. And of course, if we didn't choke it down, you would be looking at obviously much larger conduit and wire. I mean, you have to go with a parallel run for that matter on this transformer in particular. So you'll obviously quite often choke down the transformer, and you can easily do that with this. And that's about it. Once you have your results, the only way to save, it's going to save the state of the app. So when you exit this and come back in, everything's going to stay the same. You'll see if I go to non-dry, I come out back in, it'll be on non-dry. And that's the same for the entire app. Even the user modified values, everything will stay the same. If you do want to start from scratch, you just hit reset. Everything will go back to its default values. And then if you need to save a bunch of transformers, there's no real way to do that yet. Our system for that is to email your results. I'm in a simulator right now, so email won't do anything, but in an actual phone or an iPod or whatever device you're using, it will print all this information into a nice email, and you can send it off to someone in the office or just send it to yourself in order to save the results. And that's about it. I hope you enjoyed our tutorial, and I hope you love our app, and I hope you write it a review if you do. And if you got any problems with our app, please email us. Easy as pie, just go to the info screen, and our email address is right there. It'll pull up your email app, and you can fire us off an email. Let us know what you don't like. We'll do our best to fix things, change things, and keep everybody happy. All right, thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.